Live, Dina Kahn, take it away.
Hi everyone, we're super excited. It's the weekend of the Shabbat Project and we are cooking up a storm tonight. So we're going to be really quick. We're going to try to get a whole Shabbat done in 45 minutes. The clock is starting. So the first thing I'm going to do is make challah. Like I've pre-prepped the dough because everything's going to have to be super quick. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a way of how to braid challahs in the fastest way that I've learned. I've learned it from my friend. Her name is Miriam Lipscar. She lives in America and she taught me this idea, which I use every week now. So I'm getting my dough. I'm making it into 2 loaves. I'm putting it into 2 loaves. And all I'm going to do, very, very simply, can you see it on the camera? Is it on? Okay. So all I'm going to do is I just put literally into the loaf shapes. And I'm just going to make some cuts. So I'm going to do 4 braid challah. So basically, I am going to make 3 cuts. So literally, you can see, I'm just putting cuts here. And I'm now going to, I've got my 4 braids. Instead of rolling it out, I just cut it and it's easy to go. So now I'm going to do my braiding. So when I braid, I'm just going to take it from one side. I'm going to go over, then I'm going to go under this one, and then I'm going to go over the next one. And then I'm going to do that again. I'm going to take the outside one and I'm going to go over, I'm going to go under, and I'm going to go over again. And I just keep following the pattern. Over, under, over, over, under, over, over, under, over. And there you go. We've got our loaf. It looks like I literally made it from scratch of making all the different parts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to egg it. So just quickly get some egg and put it over it. And then what I'm going to do is I love using fresh garlic. So I've got some crushed garlic and all I'm going to do is put some fresh garlic over it and it tastes literally like garlic bread. So that's all we do. We've got it. I put it on my oven tray and it's ready to go in the oven. Okay, now we are moving on to...
Me, but 1 second. We're going to, someone's going to have to film me. Is it on Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. I want to share it onto my Facebook. How could I do that? Okay. Can we get on Dina's? Doesn't matter. I want to get on mine. I want to film you guys and you can share with your phone. Okay, so hello everybody. This is exciting. We've got something delicious. We've got some great salmon steaks. First thing we want to do is get rid of the slime of the fish. You don't want any slime of the fish. Get rid of it. Wash it off. And the carrot, that's okay. And put that in there. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so Brian, come over here. We're going to show you what we're going to do. This is going to be a game changer. We have got over here some coriander. Okay, we have got over here some lovely fresh kale, straight from our garden, which is all pre-washed, and we have got some parsley right over here. Now look what we're going to do. We're going to slice this up, and then once it's all sliced up, let me show you what we're going to do. Here comes the magic. We're going to take some of that, and we are going to be putting it in this person. Now look at this. We put a little bit of olive oil, why not? And I like it to be nice and spicy, but I don't want it too spicy. So here's a little trick. You take that and you roll it. And when you roll it, what's happening is all the seeds are falling off. I'm then going to open it up and slice. And there's still a few seeds, but that's because I didn't bother shaking them out. And I'm going to give them a little cut. Doesn't matter. And then in they go. Now, my mother taught me, here's the most important thing, guys. I wanted to hear this. Never, ever waste the food. So before I started tonight, I had no ingredients that I specifically needed. Rather, I looked in the fridge and I said, what do we want to use up? Now, these tomatoes are looking a bit like they're about to go off. So you know what you do? You take a couple of those, and that's what I'm going to use. So do these typically need to fit in? Who knows? Who cares? You just use them up because they need to get used up. Now, a bit of salt. And this is not working very well. There you go. Grind it in. And a bit of pepper. And some beautiful whole grain seeded mustard. Put that in there. Now, guys, here is where the magic starts happening. You start pushing this in, getting it in. Okay, you're mixing it. And you know what? Actually, those tomatoes are actually giving it a good, nice, good juice. If you could only, the aroma of that. Brian, smell that. Because honestly, the aroma, are you getting it?
That's delicious.
It is delicious. That aroma is just incredible. That is just coming out. Keep bashing at it. You know, you can take your time, but hey, who's got time today? So now look at this. Look at what we're going to do, my dear friends. If you want, only if you want, you could give it a little spritz. Some people say you don't need it. Then always put a little bit of pepper, why not? You want to get rid of all. Now, you're going to take the spoon or,
Flying forks.
we are going to take a flying fork. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to take some of that. So look at this. And we are going to just look at that, man. I mean, honestly, that is just going to be incredible. And we're going to get some of the goodness. You want to get all of that beautiful goodness over there. Don't let any go to waste. Oh my gosh, I'm getting excited. You know what? Look at that. You put some of that amazing, amazing goodness. Spread out the love. Spread it out. And I want to tell you something, if I may. Oh, absolute perfection. Take that, simply put it in the oven, and that is going to be quite incredible. And bake 180, why not, till it's nice and ready. Dina, back onto you for the next course.
Okay, now we are moving on to a salad. I'm going to make a salad that I love. I saw it once and it is fresh, it is easy, it's amazing. So the first ingredient is sweet corn. Basically, I just took the sweet corn and I grilled it very quickly. I probably overcooked it a bit. You can actually have it raw, or you could cook it, or you could grill it, whatever you prefer. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut it off the corn. So I'm just going to literally cut it off the bone, or I don't know what you call it. So you literally just cut off as much as you can get. It's got a nice brown color on it, which actually makes it taste delicious because you get that grilled flavor. You could even barbecue the corn. That could be another option. If you're making a barbecue, then that would also be really, really great to barbecue the corn. So I'm just going to take both of my corn cobs and cut it off the corn. I've decided to use 2 for this salad. You can obviously make this salad as large as you like. It's a very popular salad, so you might need a lot more corn if you're having more guests over.
Where's my son?
Okay, so it's in the corner there. Put it. Okay, so we've got all the corn off. That's wonderful. And excellent. So I'm going to get my bowl. I'm going to put it into a bowl. You can put it into more of a flat plate, or you can do it in a bowl, depending what kind of look you want. So I've got my corn, which I'm going to put in. Okay, so that's great. That's the base. That's the fresh corn, delicious. And then what I'm going to add to it is I've got some chopped tomatoes. So because I did 2 corn, I usually do equal amounts. So I did 2 tomatoes. I chopped them up. Then I've got some fresh coriander. Not everyone likes coriander. You can leave it out, or you can put in any herb that you like, really. I've got some delicious spring onion, which I'm going to add in also. That gives a great flavour. You could use red onion if you want to instead. And then I've got my favourite ingredient, which only add a little bit if you're not so into it. It's chili. We love chili in our house, so I've put some fresh chili in. It adds a really great taste. And then all I do is that I only dress it with some lime. Lime gives it a wonderful flavour. So I've got this little juicer that I use. And, okay, I don't think it's on. Yeah, it is, sorry. So I'm just going to quickly juice my limes. I'm going to use a whole lime. You can use more or less depending on your taste buds. Okay, so there we've got it. We've got delicious lime, which is going to give it a real zesty flavour. And then the last thing I'm going to do is add salt. Literally, that's all the ingredients. I add salt, and I give it a really good toss. Get a close up of it. There we go. It's a fresh, healthy, delicious salad.
And it's amazing.
Yeah, come over and taste it anytime you want. Okay, what's
all right, me making chicken.
Moshe's favorite.
Okay, my dear friend. I want you guys, rule number one, never tell your kids you can't be in the kitchen. The reason I know how to cook and I'm wearing an apron, and last time I was cooking was because of my mom's apron. The reason I was cooking was my mom, my dear, beautiful mother, always let me be in the kitchen. She never said, get out. She let me make a mess. She let me get involved. And we learned how to clean up after ourselves. You know what? We made something and we learned right away, clean it up. So here we go. Look at this. This is what we're going to do. Where is my little oil spray? Number one. Just a very tiny little bit over there. Number two is we are going to take, I filled it before, we're going to take a beautiful, nice, sweet potato, and we are going to get a knife, and we are just going to slice it nice and thin, just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Doesn't take very long. Look at that. People who say it takes hours to make Shabbos, my dear friend, it need not take hours to make a delicious Shabbos. Take it, and literally, there you go. Put it in, spread them out nice. Then you're going to take an onion. Same concept, my dear friend. Take the onion, just ever so nicely slice it like that. Don't cut your fingers. And boom, take the onion. And once again, if you want, you can make the onion rings like that. Just put them around. And you. Now, here is another part of my real trick. I told you before, I look in the fridge what I need to use. You see this? Here is a little bit of left. You might think this is rubbish, and I deliberately kept it. Take the bottom off into the incinerator. Obviously, you're washing it properly, and you're making sure that there's absolutely no bugs. You are washing it over here, and I'm going to show you something quite cool. Take the bottom. This is not rubbish. That could be, if you get rid of the outside, which doesn't look very pretty and nice, so aesthetically, you get rid of this, although I'll be honest with you, you don't have to do that. And then, as if you're making chips, you actually slice like this, and boom, look at that. And these, by the way, are going to be the most delicious veggies inside your chicken. Simple as that. Look at that. Add some color, add some freshness, and that is all of a sudden amazing. Then what you do is you take the chicken, always wash it, and again, you want to get rid of the slime of the chicken. You don't want any slime of it. I already washed it before, so it's pretty clean, but I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it again. And you take your chicken and you just place it on top. Simple as that, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just wash my hands a bit, get rid of that. Now look at this. Here's where you go. You can spice it however you want it. So I'm going to have a bit of soy sauce as a beginner. Sprinkle it on. Don't be shy with the soy sauce. Number one. Number two is we are going to be putting, because I love a bit of curry. Oh man. Look at it. Just sprinkle it. Just no amount. Just feel it. Feel it. Don't worry about overdoing it. A bit of curry. Something called sawaish, which is from Israel. Incredible. Always smell the spice before. If you like it, go for it. If you don't like it, don't go for it. Teriyaki, why not? A drop, just a little fruit, you know. And because you wanted some honey soy chicken, you put a little bit of the honey. Then, why not, some sweet paprika. Oh man, does that fit in amazing. Just glaze it ever so, just gently. Look at that. Just look at that colors already. And then, because I do like things a bit hot and spicy, I've got some nice red hot sauce Oh my gosh, this chicken is just going to be incredible. I am telling you, honestly, this chicken probably one of the best chickens. You remember I told you about some of the tomatoes that are going off? But you know what? When you actually put them in the chicken and you allow them to bake, then you know what? They're going to be incredible. If you want to be even more, just put them in. Why not? You can put garlic in there, you can put other veggies, whatever you want. Now, I will put that in the oven, usually for about an hour and a half at about 180. I'm not going to put it in the oven right now because, oh my gosh, Brian, just come here, just come here. Take a look at that. Is that not incredible already? All right. And we are now putting this in. And we're going to take that out. Oh, that is hot. Don't do that. But we are going to be putting our chicken in over there, and we are passing it on to you, Dina. Dina, take it away.
Okay, so now we're going to make a traditional Jewish kosher dish, which is called a kugel. You can make so many different types of kugels. You can make broccoli, zucchini, pumpkin, carrot. There's endless amounts. Basically, you just mix together veggies, some flour, some oil, and you've got a kugel ready to go. So I'm going to make potato. Potato's a bit of a classic. My kids always loved it. What I'm going to do that makes it taste even better, almost like fried latkes, which everyone loves. I'm going to put some oil in my dish, just pour a little bit, and I'm going to actually put this into the oven to warm up while I make the rest of my kugel, and then I'll add it. Now, I'll just put it in. The reason why I do that is because, first of all, the potatoes, to prevent them from browning, the hot oil prevents it. And also, my dish gets greased while I do it, and it just adds a great flavour. So someone once taught me that trick. That's in the oven, and now I'm going to start adding my ingredients. So I've already prepped my potatoes. I'm putting in 6 potatoes. You can give or take, but I'm doing 6. So here we go. I've got my food processor. It's on a very fine blade because I'm going to finely grate it. I love my food processor. I use it so much, like for everything. So here we go. Now put them in a bit of water because they will go brown otherwise. Potatoes go brown really quickly. You can't leave them out. Once you peel them, you've got to move with them or put them in water. So here I go. I'm going to turn it on. I'm just putting them through really quickly. There. Now, you could use a hand grater. That could be another option. I'm also putting an onion because it gives it a great flavour. So here we go again. Okay, that's it, all done. So I'm going to use this bowl to mix up my kugel. So in my kugel is going to go, I've got a bit up the top left there, but that's fine. That can go in. Even though it's not grated as finely, it will still taste fine. Or else I could put it through again, but because I'm in a rush, I won't do that today. And then I'm going to take all of my mixture, put it in. So this is the mix of the onions and the potatoes. So that's great, that's in. Okay, now what I'm going to add is 3 eggs. So I always do half the amount of eggs or potatoes. If I do 4 potatoes, 8 potatoes, I'll do 4 eggs. I do half. It makes it like really moist. So that's my eggs. Then I'm going to add salt. I like to add about a tablespoon, depending on how salty you like it. I'm going to put a tablespoon of salt. And then the last ingredient I put in is a bit of baking powder, just to give it a bit more fluffiness. So I've got some baking powder. They also make this on Pesach. And when I do, I wouldn't put the baking powder in. And now I'm going to put my last ingredient in, which is my hot oil. So I'm going to go to my oven, grab out the oil. So usually if I was making everything from scratch, like peeling the potatoes, by that point, my oil would actually be really steaming and bubbling, it's not going to be as hot tonight because I already had prepped a lot of the ingredients. So it usually makes a bit of a sizzle when you pour it in. I didn't get a massive sizzle this time, but it's still great. So all I do now is give it a good mix. And you can even, if you want, like put a glove on and mix it with your hands. Sometimes that works a bit faster. Don't forget, we don't want to leave it too long till we get it into the oven because the potatoes, you know, will turn brown. Sometimes I even put all the ingredients in the bowl and just do the potatoes last so that I have less time for the potatoes sitting in the bowl. Yep, that's it. It seems pretty mixed up. Pour it into my dish. You can just use any size dish, really. I usually sometimes use like a 9-inch by 13-inch disposable pan if I'm making this for someone for a Shabbat and I want it, you know, just takeaway. And then that's it. It's ready to go in the oven. Simple as that.
Okay, my dear friend. I hope you're noticing we're not even rushing and we are smashing different courses out. Now, what we're going to do is over here, we are now going to make the schnitzel. And the secret of the schnitzel is, obviously, you've got your chicken breast. You've washed it off. You don't want it to be, you don't want it to feel any of that fat. You never want to feel that sort of grease. You want it to be nice. And here I'm going to teach you a trick. Get rid of that water, excess water, otherwise it will just sizzle when it kind of hits the fry pan. And I'm going to teach you, the secret is you want to fillet your chicken steak. Now, make sure your hands are nice and clean, which I did before. Hold it down. And a little secret, by the way, if you do this when it's frozen, it's even easier. And look at that. Beautiful fillet. Now, if you think you could get one, you could get even better. And when it's actually frozen, you could probably get even thinner. But look how nicely that slices out of one chicken breast over here. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. That's what you call perfection. Okay? And we are going to repeat exact same. Hold it down. Let the knife do the work. Just slowly feed it along. And you're not cutting your hand because you know what you're doing. And that is 1. And we are going to repeat that. 1. Look at that. Simply, just let it do it. Look how magical it is. And by the way, if you want, you can even pull that little one off and you can get an extra piece. But look at these beautiful pieces of schnitzel. And when they are thin, by the way, the beauty of that is when they're thin, they are actually going to cook evenly and quickly. Let's get our fire going because you want to get the fry pan nice and hot. And we are going to start pouring a little bit of oil. And there you go, a little bit of oil is in. And we are going to put the fan on. And let me just show you something over here. We are getting our ingredients. I'm only making a little bit. Number 1, remember the trick I told you my mother taught me. Check 1, 2, 3, no blood, put it in. Done. Take this and you can put it in the incinerator. Just like that, off it goes. Take a fork and just whisk it. Depending on how much schnitzel you're making, you might need more. I'm not looking to make a lot because we're just doing a bit of a cooking demo. Number 2, take your cornflake crumbs, which is just this. You could use other crumbs. If you have leftover bread, you could toast it and then grind it. Take your cornflake crumbs and put it in. Now, here is the Moshe Kahn magic. Look at this. You can use that as the base, but then you take some other spices. Cumin makes it just, you know that flavor of acidity that you just love? Put a bit of cumin in there. And then you put in a bit of za'atar. Oh my gosh. Oh man, that's just, look at that. That green. Then you take a bit of cayenne pepper to give it a bit of a kick. Okay? And smoked paprika. Guys, I want to tell you something. These are game changers. Game changers when it comes to cooking. What you're doing is you're adding some pepper and you are adding some salt. Now, I'm going to teach you a little trick. If you want to put salt in without putting salt in, take a bit of soy sauce. People don't do this. Put a drop in the egg. What we do like that? What did you know? And that was to change the color of this egg because, check it up, look at that. That gives you all of a sudden a heat. Then mix your crumbs over here. And you want your oil nice and hot. That's why I put the fire on before. You want it nice and hot. And this is what we are going to do. Get yourself in order. This is number 3. This is number 2. And this is number 1. Now, I have clearly not very organized because what I should have is a tray. Very, very important while it's warming up. And no, you take this, and that's going to be my tray for today. I'm going to show you a little trick. That's pirate. Definitely not a good idea. Definitely not a great idea. We're going to get something really, really nice. Oh my gosh, look like this. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is, look at this. You must have a paper towel on the bottom. Critical. Why? Because we don't want it to be fatty. By the way, take your schnitzel, hold it up, dip it into the egg, and roll it in. Let the excess with the fork go up. Take it over here, dip it in 1, dip it in 2, and I reckon the oil will be not ready. Okay, never waste time. You know what you do? Get number 2 ready. Over there and over there. Take it in and get rid of the excess egg. And then simply put it in over there. 1 and 2 and 3. And we are still waiting. It's still not hot enough. So if you think we're going to waste time, oh no, he said. It's number 3, take it in. And this is so easy, by the way, and so beautiful. And put it in, get it nice and coated. And I want to tell you something. Brian is going to be my taster tonight because this schnitzel, honestly, is going to be incredible beyond incredible. It's like he's going to think he's at a Michelin star restaurant. And I want to tell you something. He is, because this is all being cooked with coverage for Shabbat. Again, thin, nice, beautiful schnitzels, and coated in this soya egg, covered in these beautiful. And I want to give you a little trick, by the way. If you, at the end of the night, have excess eggs or crumbs and you don't want them to go to waste, you know what you do with them? Brian, you know what you would do? You would make matzah ball. You would make knedler. Oh, you didn't know that. The oil is now ready. Put it in. And it should be a bit harder, in all honesty. But hey, you know what I mean? Put it in, away from you over there so it doesn't sizzle. And man, is this already sounding good. I'm putting this one, it's a bit thinner, putting it over there. And this is a big mama. That's going to be yours, Brian. Right over. Man, you know what? We can also get this little baby in. Why not? Usually you put a lot more of the stuff. I just don't like wasting. And I've already had a delicious, delicious dinner. Now, if you think this is it, you are mistaken. Because I want to teach you about not wasting. First of all, wash your hands. Always keep your kitchen nice, clean. Wash your hands. People feel good about that. People like eating from a clean kitchen. Now, we made some dough today, and we had some extra. So you think I chucked it out? Is that what you think? No. I'm going to do little things. You know what I did? I rolled it out. I took this cup, chunk, even the waste, make some more. You can imagine. Here's my roller. I'm going to make what's called a little nice meat dish pizza. Number 1, stab the dough a little bit. Why? Supposedly it stops it from flopping up. Also, it makes me sound like I know what I'm doing. I actually have no idea. Maybe yes, maybe not. Who cares? You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. I've not forgotten about it. I'm just double passing. I'm looking at it. People want to flip it all around. The more you flip it, it's like you know what you get. Let it get there. It's cooking halfway. I'm beginning to see the chicken cook on one side. Back over here. Take your amazing crushed tomatoes. By the way, an incredible sauce. Full of spice. The tomatoes will go, as I told you, a bit off. You take them and you blend them up. And then you could add any spice you want. You could add a bit of ketchup. You thicken it up. And boom, look at that. While we do that, we're then going to add a bit of mincemeat. Again, all this is mincemeat cooked up with a bit of spice. That's all it is. You must have the spice to make this good. My dear friends, oh my gosh, this is going to be like next level. And when someone comes to eat this on Shabbos, by the way, I want to tell you something. You know what the only good thing about this all? They're going to say, man, could I come back next week? Because they are going to love it. And if you think I've forgotten about my schnitzel, I have not. But I am going to make a little pause over here. We'll come back to this in a minute, Brian. And we are going to flip our schnitzel. Simple take is 1 and boom, and boom, and boom, and boom, and I'm going to turn over about 30 seconds earlier. But that's okay. No biggie. You know what I mean? You got to be human. What's that English chef? What's his name? The English chef. Come on. Jamie Oliver. Jamie Oliver calls me all the time for advice. Now. Oh my God. Okay. Now, really, really important, by the way. Just aside, you don't want to have raw schnitzel. It's just the worst. So what you do is you give it a little slice, and you could bend and look, and that is perfect. No pink. Oh my gosh. Take one, and you know that is ready. You know. You just know it in your heart. I'm just going to check this one, and look at that. Cooked to perfection. You know why it's cooked to perfection, my dear? You know why? Because what you do is, by the way, you take another sheet of paper and you put that on top. We are just going to finish these because I'm not going to let these go to waste. Yada boom, yada boom, yada boom, 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 boom. And we are flicking these. We are flicking these. We're putting them in here. They really need a bit more spice. But we'll just do that's where you can end it up. You start mixing it in there. You really should dip it in. I just want to show you that you know what? There's no rule in life. A bit of yellow turmeric will make this one slightly different. Why not? In life, it's good to be different. You know what I mean? Feeling a bit of the blues, or feeling a bit like the yellow. Okay, now, then we're going to finish these up, and then I'm going to show you something quite amazing. You think this is over? Oh no. What you then do is, we then come over here, and we've got some of our coriander. Look at that. Put that a bit on the top. Right? You think that's it? No. You do something like that. Some, I'm probably going to use up these cherry tomatoes, remember? So, wash it over there, and simply, oh my gosh, brine. Now, if you want, which I'm going to show you, these can actually be put even on top of that. Look at that. It's like an Italian gourmet pizza, just with meat. No cheese, obviously. No cheese. Now, here you have the ready brine coming. You see the whites coming over the top? You know that is getting ready. Oh my gosh, those are incredible. Let's do a few more of these. Boom, boom, boom. You want it with a bit of tomato or not? What do you reckon?
Put a bit of tomato on.
Yeah, no worries. Bit of tomato never killed anyone. Okay. Boom. Some people would not serve that waste of money. Serve everything, my dear. As long as it's edible, you can eat it. And we are done in a minute. And then what we're going to do is we are now going to put this. This one little guy's missed out and crying, complaining, you know what I mean? And then we are so under 45 minutes. It's actually quite incredible. You take this, put these in the oven, and I want to tell you something. These are going to be, well, this oven is so come here, bro. Let's just check this out. We've got little beautiful mini pizzas over there, meat pizzas, no cheese, no cheese. We've got our chicken that is beginning to take color, incredible. We've got Dina's wonderful potato cooker right over there. That is incredible. We have our schnitzels, which are virtually all ready. Come here. We have an amazing salad. Man, just look at that. Beautiful, beautiful salad. Color, you go in the oven, food. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have just made you. We could have even got more, by the way. You know, we're not going to have all the courses. We put out. Here's the beauty I want to tell you. This week is Shabbat Project. And I want to tell you, number one is, here's my beautiful wife, my partner. Dina and I have been married now over 20 years. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Then we have another at least
100.
60. How old am I? Another 60 years, take me over 100. All right, 60 years. Listen, my dear. Listen, everyone. Cook Shabbos together. Let your children get into the kitchen. They will love it. Shabbos will be a positive experience. Shabbos will be a fun experience. When you're doing it together, there's no stress. And the food tastes better when you make it. When you cook it, when you put effort in, when you toil, you are going to enjoy it. It says in the Talmud, me, the parach, the Erev Shabbos, years of the Shabbat. If you toil, if you put in the effort before Shabbat, you will live with Shabbat. So my dear friends, join us. By the way, to all the young YJP and young guys out there, we had, Brian, how many more tickets do we have? I think it's 8 seats. 8 seats left. We have 8 seats for our volunteers that are this Friday night. Thank you for that. We love you. Thank you.
And also this Friday night Shabbat Project. So get involved, come to a dinner or have Shabbat at home, light the Shabbat candles before Shabbat comes in. If you're not sure how to do it, ask us and try to have a Shabbat this week to make it really special. Around the world, it's a Shabbat project.
One more thing, how are you going to serve the schnitzel? Like this, simply, you obviously do not serve it, but you see how much oil has come up of that? So all you could do is, you could then, this is a different type of schnitzel, this one is the last two. What you do is you disregard that. Look, OMG, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, fresh, delicious, scrumptious schnitzel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm quite proud. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You guys nailed that.
You guys